If you're of a certain age, as in bald as a bowling ball, Nissan's new Z is a big deal. Back in the day, and I swear I really did have hair once, the Nissan 240Z literally popularized the concept of a Japanese sports car. It was cheap, cheerful, and even 50 years later, it's still stunningly gorgeous. I got to admit that I'm not quite as fond as the old 240 as most people. My friend Ned McGee had one, and nobody in our little northern Quebec town could figure out how to tune its cranky SU carburetors. I was handy with a vacuum gauge and knew a little bit about those cranky carbs because they were on motorcycles at the time. And I was seconded into his quest for a smooth idle. All I can say about the experience is it wasn't a good time. The good news then is that I think the new Z's spiritual predecessor is actually the late 80s 300ZX. It was perhaps my favorite Japanese sports car of the time. Hugely powerful, it handled like a dream on the track, and it was more than adequately comfortable when grand touring. It was also, like the original Fair Lady Z, stunning to look at. All those adjectives could well describe this 2023 version of the Nissan Z. Like the ZX, it's powered by a 3-liter turbocharged V6, this one booting out 400 horsepower and more than enough torque to shred the rear Bridgestones. On track, it really does handle the treat, turn-in is precise, and the brakes, unlike the original Zs, are plenty powerful. On the street, it's a model of civility, all docile power and roomy interior. Of course, it's much more modern inside than the 30-year-old 300ZX, but it retains Nissan's old-school penchant for race car-like instrumentation. Where else but in a thoroughbred are you going to find a full set of oil pressure, water temperature, and turbo boost gauge? Not to mention something I've actually never seen before, a readout detailing how fast your turbochargers are spinning. I know, for instance, that screaming down Mont Tremblant's long back straight, the Z's twin turbos were spinning more than 20,000 RPM. In other words, the new Z is the real deal. Perhaps the best news in all of this, though, is that the new Z starts at $46,498. That's about the same as Honda's latest Civic Type R, which means, if you've been following along at all, that the new Z, like the old 240Z, will be cheap, cheerful, and judging by the reactions it's got here at Mont Tremblant, also stunningly gorgeous. I'm David Booth for Driving.ca.